So in this lesson, we're going to talk about key light, and then we'll go on to fill light and our rim light and our background light, etc. But first, I just want to talk a little bit about key light. Key light, I think it's no coincidence that key is the same word. It means it's key. It's instrumental in your lighting setup. It's one of the most important lights you'll set. It's usually the first light that I set, unless I'm in an environment in which one of the other existing lights is going to be a rim light or a fill light. But one of the things I wanted to impress upon you is that the key light, about 90% of the time, is going to go on the opposite side of camera from your talent. For instance, if I'm the talent and my eye line is going to be not directly into the camera, but probably off center. I like to make my eye line about right here, which is about 2 to 3 degrees off center. I try to impress upon directors to try and go with that eye line because I think you get more emotion out of your actors that way. But you can't always convince them to do that. They have their own ideas about what they want to see on screen. But I think the further away that your eye line gets away from camera, the more emotion you lose and the more connection you lose with your actors. And to where if you get like 20 degrees or even like 35, 40, 45 degrees away from camera, you really start to lose just the intention and what's going on in your actors' faces and in your actors' eyes. But anyway, so let's just say that this is our eye line right here. If my camera's here, my eye line is here, my key is going to come from over here, probably this direction right here. Now, the more you look at this, the more you start watching some of your favorite movies and TV shows and just what's out there, you're going to recognize that 90% of the time, if your actor's eye line is here, his key light is over here, which is hitting his face on this side over here, camera's over here. If his eye line's over here, camera's over here, then the key light is going to come from this direction and hit him in the face here. Why is that? Well, the primary reason is because the camera adds weight to people's faces. And by keying from the backside, you actually make people's faces thinner. So you want to keep that in mind and test it out for yourself. See, when you key from one side versus the other side, what it actually does to your face. Sometimes you want somebody to have a broader look. Sometimes you want to key from camera side. Maybe you want to make them not look quite as good, or if they're really thin and you want to make them look haggard, you'll key far from the other side of camera and be very, very almost no fill light, lots of shallow hollow cheeks and stuff like that. We'll talk more about that as we get into the advanced lessons. But right now I want to talk about Rembrandt lighting, which we talked a little bit about in the first part of this section, where we took Elise's face and ran the light around her. So in this case, we discovered that Rembrandt lighting is going to look best for Elise. Now, Rembrandt lighting is going to look best for just about everyone. Rembrandt lighting works 99% of the time. Very rarely will it not work, which is why it's used a lot. Vampire Diaries is a really great example. That movie, that TV show's it's just littered with Rembrandt lighting, and it works because it's very high contrast, and I personally like it. Don't necessarily care for the show that much, except for Nina Dobrev, but I love the lighting. So we're going to set up a Rembrandt key for Elise by taking this light that's right here, this storm light, and moving it over there, and bringing in Elise and sitting her here and getting started. Do. So I have a light set up over here, and we're just going to turn it on and see what happens. It's probably going to be a little low. It is. Okay, so one of the things we want to look at is when you do Rembrandt lighting, you do tend to get shadows on the opposite side of the face from camera. So if you look right here, we got a little bit of a nose shadow. It's coming right here. We actually want that to elongate, and we want it to come right down past the corner of her mouth towards her chin. So to get that, we are going to have to cheat Elise's eye line a little bit.
I was trying to find it.
Is it?
Box?
It's where your boobs were.
Okay.
It's the knot. You see the knot on the door?
Hi, Mom.
Hey, you're the one that set the mark, not me.
Didn't.
It was my fault.
Saboteur.
Okay. So that should give us, no, actually, let's go a little bit higher. Oh, great. Okay, so now we're recording on the picture cam, and we look on the monitor, and we have the nice, it's great, we have this nice shadow you can see coming down her cheek into the corners of her mouth. This little spot of light here, the nice eye light, highlights in the eyes. Very, very pretty. And this we could actually shoot if we wanted to. The contrast ratio is going to be a little high. As you can see from this side to that side, it's probably about 8 to 1. We do have the house lights on, so let's go ahead and meter that and see where we're at and follow up on our contrast tutorial. So you hold your light meter about right here next to the face, and it says 9 2/3. And we have almost no light coming here, so we should get, I need to shade this, 6 2/3, so it's about 3 stop difference, 8 to 1, I'm dead on. We could shoot this, what we have going on right now, if we look on the monitor, we can see that we have this light back here, and you can get away with this if you have to. I mean, if you've only got 2 lights, Robert Rodriguez shot El Mariachi with 2 lights and like short ends of a 16mm film camera. So we've got a key light here. Her face is beautifully lit. We have a light on the background. If we needed to, and if we didn't have any more lights, we could actually shoot this and it would kind of work. It's not the way I like to work. I like to add, our typical 3-point lighting setup, which we'll get into next. So what we're going to look at is we're going to turn the key off, and we're going to take a look at the rim light and get that set.